Eddie, so good to have you on the Sports Sister. Thank you very much for taking time out and your very busy schedule to chat to us. So thank you so much. Appreciate your time, Ed. It's always good to talk cricket, so I really appreciate it.
No, Ryan, yes, pleasure to be here, and thanks so much.
Lekker, man. You attended Grey High School. Now, some people refer to it as the real Grey. Did you feel that your time there really motivated you to be, let's say, the sports person you are today?
Yes, certainly. I'm got a very Afrikaans background. So coming from Uitenhage, primary school, laerskool Handhof. So very Afrikaans. Always struggled a bit with the English and that. So it was quite a big move to go to grade PE. But it was probably one of my bravest, but certainly one of the better moves I've ever had to make. And I feel like it's given me quite a few opportunities, especially in the sporting world. It's provided me with opportunities to play against some of the best schools in the country, and obviously get some really professional coaching too. So very, very happy with that move, and I feel like it's given me quite a few opportunities, and it definitely played a part in my professional career so far.
No, that's good. It's often, I think people get a bit bored with me because I keep referring to how good the school system is in South Africa, and it's just fantastic. So I'm glad you could benefit from that and develop your career. But now you chose to open the batting. Lovely, lovely idea. Was it something that once you experienced it, you thought, that's it, I've made my mind up, I want to open the batting, and there's no talk of going any further down, maybe 3 or 4 or 5, I'm opening batting? Is it something you decided on as soon as you got the chance to open the batting?
Look, definitely. I think it's one of the toughest jobs out there, I believe. That's why you don't really get a lot of people that's up for the challenge and that actually want that kind of pressure. But that is kind of part of my character, I would say. I really enjoy challenges. I really like to be thrown in at the deep end sometimes and find a way to swim or to get out of it. I see it as a massive challenge, but I also see it as a massive opportunity. There are not a lot of quality openers out there. I'm talking about people that are mentally strong and can bat for hours and set up games for their teams, even in second innings. So I see it as a massive challenge and something I would really want to do for a long period of time. So it comes with a lot of mental energy as well as physical strength and endurance training and all of that. I know it can get tough sometimes. The conditions might be tough, or conditions might be bowler friendly, or you're always up against the fresh bowlers and a new ball and all of these things. But once again, you can look at it two ways. You can see it as a threat or as something that can get you down more often than not, or you can see it as an opportunity. And I prefer looking at it as an opportunity and try, be one of the few that handles it well.
Yeah, I'm going to use that word opportunity a bit later. But before we get to that, you were thrown, I would say, in the deep end when you started your first class career. I think it was the 2011-2012 season when the Warriors decided to pick you.
Yes.
And it's almost been a bit of a baptism of fire, I'd say. But, looking back at all those years, do you feel that baptism of fire has really equipped you to where you are now?
Yeah, it's interesting actually how it started. I remember Pete Botha was the captain of the Warriors setup. David Jacobs, the head coach, and David Jacobs was the captain. And I was quite an explosive batsman. Was quite aggressive in my innings, and I still remember being on holiday in December, and the Warriors were preparing for this Ram Slam T20 tournament. Came down for a warm-up game, and I came off a few innings there in the warm-up games, and here I was. Next thing I knew, I had to go back to my holiday destination and go pack my bags for the trip the next day.
Sure.
2 days later, made my debut at Newlands, full house. I think it was a triple header that day.
Yeah.
So it was a very cool experience and great memories. And I was always this, as I said, like aggressive batsman. And then I came in for Colin Ingram that time, as he was injured. And then basically he came back into the team. I had to make space for him again. And for 3 years, I had to graft away at amateur level again to try to find my way back into the Warriors setup again. So as I said, it took me 3 years, and the opportunity opened up in 4-day batting. They needed an opener. So that's where the door opened up again. I just kind of threw everything at it, try to become this new opening batsman for the Warriors in 4-day cricket. So yeah, it's taken me, as I said, by then I was a little bit more mature in my batting. I had a bit of a better game plan, I would say. And ever since I made my 4-day debut, I never missed a 4-day game for the Warriors, which I'm really proud of, and something I can obviously like to keep doing. Just to keep the runs flowing and hopefully keep cementing my spot into the 4-day setup. But with that came another challenge, which they kind of, it's probably not the right word to say, they boxed me into one format, but they almost saw me as a red ball player ever since. So it was quite interesting, making my debut in T20 cricket 3 years down the line, 4-day cricket, and I almost just played 4-day cricket for the next 3 seasons after that. Sure. Only last season came where they gave me more opportunities in white ball cricket, and once again I had to throw my energies into that and make sure that my skill level was up to standard, so I could score runs in white ball cricket too. And yeah, luckily it went all right, and hopefully I got rid of that kind of one format player effect.
Yeah. Because I mean, you mentioned the word opportunity, and taking it and just working hard, and talking now specifically about 4-day cricket. Your average has been fantastic. You average above 40, and you've been making runs upon runs upon runs. It's excellent. And
thank you.
Since you're quite competitive, although that's good, you probably think to yourself, I want to make it more towards the 50-run average mark. Is that a fair assumption?
100%, right? No, I think, it's about 41, 42 at the moment, which isn't something special, I would say. I had a bit of a slow start to my career when I played for EP. It took me a while to get going and kick in. I think it had something to do with playing semi-professional cricket from a young age. So I never really. It took me some time to work out my own strengths and weaknesses and my own game plan. So once I got that going, I've been pretty successful, if I can say that. Obviously, there's always room for improvement. But the last 3 seasons have been really going well, and obviously I'm looking to keep building on that and keep improving my stats and all of that. And but within saying that, I'm not a massive stats person. I like rating myself on winning games for my team, and that's it. That's really a true fact about me. It's not, obviously it's nice, on the CV if it looks, the guy's averaging 45 or 50, which is awesome, but there's no point scoring hundreds if your team's losing. So I would really like to put in match-winning performances for my team, and that's how I judge myself at the end of the day. But I have to say that it would be awesome to get my average up to 45, 50s. That's obviously the end goal.
Well, I think you're on the right track. You really, really are. And you touched on earlier about white ball cricket, and obviously there's 3 different formats. But how confident are you feeling at those 3 formats? Like if they said to you, okay, right, here we go, you're going to be playing 22 in cricket or white ball cricket and 4-day cricket. Are you feeling confident that you can handle this? Because I think it takes a lot of skill, to be able to play all 3 formats and do all of it. But you seem like a confidence player.
Yeah, 100%, Ryan. I've never really, and I hope this does not sound arrogant and rather confident, I've never really I don't think it's ever been a skill thing in my opinion. I think it was more a matter of opportunity. We've had a really strong white ball setup at the Warriors over the past few years. Yeah. And as I said, when I got my opportunity last season with the white ball stuff and I played a few matches, I felt like I grabbed my opportunity with both hands. And once again, I'm not the finished article and I'm far from it, but I feel like I have put up my hand for selection again. And, as I said, if it's God's will, I would, if it's meant to be, I'll hopefully get another opportunity or two and keep sticking up my hand for all 3 formats, because I don't see the skill as being a problem, but more an opportunity at times. And, when you haven't had an opportunity in a long time, you do start questioning yourself a little bit, or the self-belief drops, or the confidence perhaps drops a little bit, and you start, questioning a few things about your skill. But it's those type of moments we have to really be mentally strong and really back yourself and keep making sure that when your opportunity comes, that you stick your hand up and that you're ready for the chance, and that make sure that you grab it with both hands. So yeah, I am pretty confident at the moment, and I do see myself as a 3 format player still.
No, that's good. Because, I mean, talking about being confident and I'd say developing, I mean, you played SA under 19 cricket, and that's also, for me, in my eyes, a big achievement to be able to do that. So, again, it just seems like you've been able to build on your career slowly and surely. Do you feel that with the SA under 19, how you're currently performing, it's surely going to kick on to greater things? It has to kick on to greater things for you because you're putting all the hard work in.
Just the correction there. I actually never played SA under 19.
Oh.
I know it's somewhere on some profile it says that I played SA under 19.
Yeah.
I was in an invitational. I was in an SA under 19 invitational side.
Okay.
I played SA universities, and I've been to a few camps, like national camps and things like that. But I never actually made the 11-man squad or the 15-man squad to go on tour. Which obviously when I was under 19, it was a bit of a setback, and obviously you had your hopes on making that team. But I once again used that disappointment and setback as motivation to keep working harder, and making sure that the guys that are selected, that I match them on the field and that I outperform them in the future, when it comes to semi-professional, professional cricket. So I take one of my close mates, Andrew Knokier, went through the same type of phase and same struggle, not making the SA under 19 teams, but coming from the same place, attending the same primary school, staying together after school, and going through university, sports and EP and everything together. We constantly motivated each other and said that you don't always need to tick those boxes in order to make it. It's about working hard consistently and believing in your own game, that you will eventually, that cream will rise to the top if you keep putting in the performances and keep working hard. And, obviously his numbers and his current performances are speaking volumes itself. I'm obviously looking to get there as well, to be honest with you. It's obviously a massive dream of mine to represent my country and obviously also play IPL the way he does. He's obviously setting the world on fire at the moment, which is awesome to see as a close mate of mine. So just another example that, obviously it's a nice feather in your cap if you get recognition at under 19 level, but you're still young at under 19 and you still got a lot of work to do to have a professional career.
No, 100%. But you're doing well, because if I'm not mistaken, you're going to be spending some time overseas at the end of this coming season. So I think it's the 2020-21 season. Minster Shippey Club. Oh, that's nice. That's very, very good. I'm pretty sure you'll hope your good form continues, and you seem to do quite well in those English conditions.
Yeah, it's it's different. It's different challenges once again. I remember playing for Rochdale, obviously not now this whole season because of COVID, but two years ago. So I've been there for 2 years at Rochdale Cricket Club, close to Manchester. So it's in the Lancashire League, and in that league you're only allowed to have one so-called professional over, and obviously I was the guy to spend some time with them. And all the pressures on that one person sometimes. If the team doesn't do well, or they don't win the game, then they're quick to tell you, listen, it's your responsibility. We're paying you. You're supposed to be scoring the runs, taking the wickets, taking the catches, whatever it might be, to win the game. So yeah, I believe that even though the level's probably not as strong as the level that you play here in South Africa, each level comes with different challenges. I'm a firm believer in that. It's not easy to score runs at any level. It's not easy to take wickets at any level. It's not easy to win games at any level. So, I'm a big believer that you have to respect the game, and if you put in the hard work, and hopefully the performances go your way, and you look after the game will look after you. So, I am looking forward to meeting up with Minster. It's obviously in Kent, so that'll be my first year with them, which I'm really excited about, and hopefully I can continue to perform and put in some decent performances for them.
No, I'm sure you will. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, because I think you're enjoying the successes there. But just quickly tell me, do they let you bowl a few offies? Do they let you turn your arm over once in a while?
Yes. To be honest with you, I see myself as a bit more of a white ball bowler. I would say
Okay.
an economical bowler.
Yes.
An economical bowler, not a massive turner of the ball or a massive wicket taker, but I feel like I can do a job for the team, holding one side of the, holding one side out and keeping it nice and tight from one side so the other bowlers can strike from the other end.
Yes.
And it hits half a little bit, or I've been able to do a few decent jobs with the white ball stuff. Limited over cricket, obviously, building dots, building pressure, and
Mm.
then waiting for the batsman to make a mistake rather than actually bowling that magical, amazing ball and
Yeah.
ripping the batsman to pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm more of a patient, building pressure type of bowler, economical bowler more than an attacking option. But yeah, I've bowled a few overs, obviously last season in the one-day competition for the
Okay.
Warriors. And overseas, they use me a little bit more, obviously, to bowl and keep
Interesting.
and keep one side nice and tight.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, Eddie, I said, you don't keep stats much, but you had a very good average in 2018. I think it was 64, there and thereabouts. But how do you sort of not put that unnecessary pressure on you when you want to, perhaps have that average again, but in the same breath, you don't want to add too much pressure on yourself. How do you sort of find
Yeah.
that balance and say, right, I want to score runs, but I've got to keep my composure here, so to say?
That's a really, really good question. I've actually, it's a tough one because I think the answer might be different from each person. But the way I do it is that I make sure that I tick the boxes preparation-wise. I make sure that I'm physically prepared. I give myself the best opportunity by being physically as fit as I can possibly be, and obviously doing my mental preparation too, whether that is visualization, focusing on my routines between balls or practices or whatever it might be. Whether you meditate, whatever technique you're using, I make sure that I tick all the boxes possibly to give myself the best chance to perform. And because in cricket, unfortunately, you're never guaranteed any performances. You can do all the hard yards, you can put in the hours of work, but sometimes speaking as an opening batsman, sometimes you can play your best shot, but you can still nick off, because there's so many different factors that play a role. So you're never guaranteed performances, but I'm a firm believer that if you do the right things for a long period of time, that somewhere, success will find you. So, just to come back to your question, to find that balance is I literally just make sure that I tick all the boxes off the field. And once I step onto the field, I let instinct take over. I make sure I breathe properly and that I just stay in the present, because you tend to either live in the past or in the future, or look at the scoreboard and you think of what's going to happen an hour from now on. So my biggest challenge is just to stay in the pressure and make sure I watch every single ball and give my full attention to every single ball that comes my way.
Yeah.
So see every ball as an event and making sure that I give it my best shot. So yeah, as I said, you have to be really mentally strong to make it in any sport nowadays. And I feel like with cricket, you have to be 100% switched on every single ball if you want to be successful, and that's all I try to focus on.
And that's why it's such an amazing game, eh? Because you could do all that preparation,
true.
and the bowler decides to have a good day and puts you under pressure, and you've got to make things work somehow. So it's
exactly.
It's a phenomenal game.
Yes. True, very true.
But Eddie, also involved in cricket, though. You started up an academy, and sort of, I think it's a brilliant idea. But just get your sort of perspective. What was the thinking behind that, and how long has it been running for?
So obviously during lockdown, we all had quite a bit of time to think, which is sometimes a good thing or not always a great thing. But I stay with two of my mates, and they're both rugby coaches actually.
Oh, okay.
And yes, so they are already one of the coaches for a rugby academy in Port Elizabeth. And speaking to them, putting a few ideas together, I thought, why not give this a go? It's always nice to, because I finished my studies in business management. I have a little bit of, I'm not saying I have experience in business in business or in the corporate world out there, but that's definitely one of my interests going forward. And I just thought, let's put my passion which is sport, and my bit of a business mind together, and let's maybe try this academy and see how well I can manage it. And so it basically started just after lockdown. It's been running for about 7 to 8 weeks now, and it's actually growing really nicely.
Well, that's good.
It's called the Mighty Mer Cricket Academy, which is, it's as I said, it's actually going really nicely. It's keeping me on my toes, I must say. It's keeping me really busy. And time management's become a real thing now lately in my life. So, I have to make sure that I don't get complacent, or that I actually focus 100% on my physical training. Or, when it comes to my primary job, which is still to obviously play cricket and score runs for the team. So, and also not get that messed up or confused with the academy stuff, and the admin with the academy stuff, which can be really draining sometimes. But it's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. And I think that dream's always been, to influence other people's careers or little kids, and help them get to their dreams and achieve their full potential. It's awesome for me because I've done quite a bit of coaching myself now over the past 7 or 8 weeks, and it's awesome for me to see a kid rock up at training with a massive smile on his face, that fire that's still burning inside of him, that happiness that comes from the sessions, and making sure that I try my best to develop this kid's skills and make sure that I keep his dream alive. And it's an awesome feeling after the session to see him, even when the sweat is running down his face, that he's got that massive smile on his face, and that sparkle in his eyes, and he loves flipping ball games and loves hitting the ball and having that cricket bat in his hand. I love kids in general, and it's so nice to give back to little kids like that.
Yeah, Eddie, I think it's absolutely essential. There's academies and there's academies. And I think your approach in that you want the child to do well, they will pick up on that vibe very quickly. And I think that's what you're offering, is that you want them to do well. And then that just, once you've got their attention, whatever you say, they're going to listen to you. So you've got the right approach. That's what I'm trying to say. You've got the right approach. So you need to keep doing it.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah.
When you
and I just want to add, like, it's awesome that it's unbelievable actually now with the academy, and you're actually physically coaching, how you actually remind yourself about the basics of the game, and how often
I tell you what,
how often when you go out and you go to training sessions, or you go to net practices, and you think, I actually do what I tell my kids to do, you know what I mean? So it's like a constant reminder almost while you're coaching that, jeepers, I must actually listen to myself here sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. It's very, very true, Eddie. No, but it's good. I'm a believer in hard work. Hard work always pays off. And if you can install that, which I'm sure you are doing, they'll understand what sport's all about. It doesn't happen overnight. So you must keep going. But Eddie, are you still going to be running your academy while you're playing cricket, or how are you going to manage that when you actually physically play cricket?
Yeah. Look, obviously it'll be a little bit harder for me to physically coach myself, but I do have 6 other coaches at the moment. While we obviously, so I'm basically just managing it from my side, and making sure that the bookings go smoothly, and the parents are happy, and the kids are happy, and making sure that the coaches still provide a decent service.
Yes.
And we have some really qualified coaches. They've all played the game or had some decent success in the game. So I've literally selected these coaches myself, making sure that, as I said, when I'm not around, that the academy still carries on and still does well and still provides a good quality of service, and that, the kids still get what they deserve. So, I'm not physically always going to be in Port Elizabeth. As you said, like, obviously I'll be away on tours and playing myself, but the academy will still continue, and, aiming at doing it 12 months a year. So, academy will still be carrying on.
No, that's excellent. And it's also, and I'm not trying to be funny in any way, but it's always, life after cricket. So I think you're putting roots in now, which is very, very good, Eddie. It's very, very good. And you never know. I mean, you're playing cricket overseas as well. You just don't know what it could end up, what it could lead to. So it's good. It's really, really good.
Perfect.
I think Kevin Peterson said it. play straight, make 10. So play straight until you've got to 10 runs. Would that be something
Yeah.
you consider yourself as a player, and even tell the junior cricketers as well?
Interesting. Interesting. I've never had that question before. No, look. I'm also a big believer in the basics of cricket. Obviously playing straight, especially as an opener, is a really important skill to have. But it's not something I live by or something I think about when I go out to the middle and bat. I believe that every batsman's got his own strengths and weaknesses, and the quicker you find out what your strengths and weaknesses are, and the longer you can commit to a game plan, especially I'm speaking 4-day cricket, commit to a game plan, the more success you'll actually achieve. It's more often a mental mistake that you make more than a physical very often, especially at franchise level. The guys are pretty skilled and they know what they're doing. So where the mistakes often creep in is more the mental side than actually the physical side. So,
sure.
And when I speak about the mental side, it's often the mental approach to your game, the presence of the crease, how patient you can be in your game plan, how you can absorb pressure. So that's what I'm talking about when I speak about the mental side more than the physical side. Because 99% of the guys can all hit cover drives or straight drives or cuts and pulls and whatever shot you want to call. They can all play that. It's a matter of shot selection and making sure that you play the right shot at the right time. So, personally, obviously look to hit the ball down the ground early on, but if a cut comes my way early on, I'll also try to put that away. It's not that I put all my shots away. It depends on the conditions on the day, and I play according to that.
Yeah. So Eddie, then what is your weakest shot? No, I'm joking. You don't have to answer.
My weakness?
Your weakest shot.
My weekness? I'm not going to give that away to all the other people.
You're watching the shots. You don't have to answer. It's all good. It's all good.
I can tell you where I go out often, and that is caught behind. So that's all I'm going to say for now.
And do you obviously bat left-handed? When the right-arm bowler comes over to you, do you fancy that? Do you prefer that, or do you prefer around the wicket when a right-arm bowler bowls to you?
To be honest with you, I prefer. It depends on what skill the bowler, what skill sets he's got. If he's a swing bowler or hitting the deck type of bowler, or which way he's taking the ball. But I prefer him coming over the stumps. I just feel like it normally, if he gets it wrong, it's in my scoring areas, and I'm a pretty positive or attacking batsman naturally. So if he gets it wrong, I'm normally in business. So whereas with around the stumps, you often bring in, especially playing most of my cricket in Port Elizabeth, where there's not as much bounce as up country. It's a little bit more sea movement and swing. So when it comes around the stumps, you give him 3 dismissals, which is bowled, RBW, and caught behind. Whereas when over the stumps, most of the balls actually goes towards the keeper and slip area. So it's almost like you only have to deal with 1 dismissal sometimes. So it depends. It's all about percentages. It's a percentages game, and I don't actually mind. I train both, over the stumps or around the stumps. But if I could prefer, I don't mind guys bowling at me over the stumps.
No, interesting. And I'm just taking a bit of a shot in the dark here. I'd say your favorite shot's either the cover drive or the hook. Which one is it?
Is that just okay? I would say definitely. Yeah, I like the front foot play. So straight drive, cover drive is probably about right.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, but there's nothing better. It comes off the bat, and you just see the red ball go through the ground there. It's brilliant. Nice crack of the bat. It's lekker. There's nothing better than that.
It's so nice. I can't wait to see that again.
Yeah, that'll be good. It'll be very, very good. And obviously, playing at home is a good ground for you, St. George's. But is there any ground sort of, if you could pick in the world where you'd say, you know what, I would love to play one game there? Which ground would it be?
I'll have to say Lords. It's got to be the home of cricket. Yes. It takes me back to a story that one of my, I think he was deputy headmaster of Grey, Mr. Rod McClellan. And I think it was our last day at school. And we got all the teachers to sign our shirts and whatever, it's like procedures that you go through. and my Mr. McLaren was one of my coaches at under 15 level. And when I was in matric, um, obviously my last day at school, he wrote on my shirt that if I ever make my test debut or if I ever play a match at Lords, he'll make sure that he'll be at that match.
Oh,
You know, and I think ever since that, so obviously with the tradition that comes with Lords itself, and then the story on top of that, I think it just motivated me massively. And I think, you know, it must be a dream come true if I ever get the opportunity or the privilege to play at Lords. You know, that would be awesome.
Yeah, no, it is good. It is good. And it's nice that, you know, South Africa is obviously playing a bit of cricket. It's nice that cricket's slowly but surely getting back on around the world, I'd say, which is very, very good.
Yeah.
Your season's happening soon, and I think by the time this interview is released, you'll probably actually be playing. You're looking forward to it. How's the squad looking for the Warriors? You guys feeling quite confident? You feeling good?
Yeah, really good. I think there's a really nice balance amongst us all. I think obviously we're 18-man squad, and we've got some really experienced guys as well as some very exciting younger guys coming through the system. So yeah, I think we're in a really good space at the moment. I think we've adapted really well to the challenges thrown at us, obviously with COVID and all of that, and having to train in smaller groups, etc. So I think we've been really flexible in our plans, and we've adapted really well, as I said. And yeah, I think we've ticked most of the boxes, and we're ready to go. We're really keen to get on the park. We've discussed most things, game plans. The bowlers are clicking nicely. The batters are in a really good mental state mental state at the moment. They're really eager to get going and get the runs flowing. So yeah, I think we're in a really good space at the moment as a squad and as a team, and I have a really good feeling about us this season.
No, excellent. And Eddie, obviously, like I said, you guys are doing for 4-day cricket. Is there talk of white ball competition happening, or is they literally checking it sort of, you know, month by month to see how things pan out? Or have it said like there's going to be a 2020 competition happening? What is happening?
Yeah, I think they definitely confirmed with us. We're playing all 3 formats this season.
Oh, lekker. Okay.
So it's a little bit shorter. So it's instead of, it used to be 10 first-class matches, so 10 4-day games, but I think they've cut that down to 7 this season.
Okay.
And a final at the end. And then the one-day competition will still carry on, and there will be a T20 competition I think which will be our last competition in the season. Yes.
Okay. All right. Eddie, as we sort of draw towards an end, I think some words that come to my mind, you know, that sort of define you as, you know, well-grounded, determined, hardworking. You know, is that something that you take as a cricketer and as a person?
Certainly, I think. Well, it's pretty nice that you can, you know, sum me up almost in a nutshell from only getting to know you for half an hour now. So I think you're pretty good. But yeah, listen, I'll definitely take those as compliments, to be honest with you. But I also would like to say, or would like to think that is what describes me best. You know, hardworking, determined. I like to think that I have my feet on the ground and, you know, stay humble and not take anything for granted. So yes, it's, you know, there's obviously a lot that I still want to achieve in my career. I'm far from where I want to be still, or that doesn't probably sound right, but you know, I still have a lot of boxes to tick and a lot of things I want to do in my career. I want to say I'm only 27, but I also want to say that I'm 27 already. You know, I am pretty eager to get going and make my dreams come true.
Yes.
And not only see it as a dream, but, you know, hopefully as reality one day. So, you know, I'm really determined to get to where I want to be, and I feel like I'm in a really good space at the moment, and hopefully I can get there sooner than I can actually imagine.
Yeah, because what really stuck out to me, just, you know, going back to something that you said in the beginning, dealing with disappointment, because I think a lot of guys, you know, they've got the dream to play South Africa, and maybe it doesn't happen as quickly as they would like. It's just a lesson they can take from you, is that just don't give up, just keep going, and that's important, because although life's changed a lot and technology's added all these different dynamics to us, that element of hard work will never change. You know, that's never going to disappear. It always has its value. And I think a lot more people need to understand that. So it's good that you've realized that. It's really, really good. And I'm sure your youngsters that are at your academy are going to learn that as well. So,
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm a big believer
mm,
in focusing on the process,
yeah,
like you said, that sometimes you might think, you might look at your personal timeline and you might think, oh, this is the season where it should happen, or it should have happened already, or why isn't it happening? And
yeah,
you can easily get caught up in that world. But, just once again is, staying in the present, making sure that you control the things you can control and
mm,
leave the uncontrollables to whoever. Just making sure that you keep ticking the right boxes and keep, doing your best, and making sure that, whatever, as I said, whatever is in your hands,
mm,
that you make sure that when that opportunity comes, you're ready for it,
yeah,
and not get carried away by things you can't control. So yeah, I'm a big believer in the process, and if it's meant to be, it will find its way. So yeah,
yeah.
that's how I see it.
Brilliant. Eddie, it's been so good to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to seeing your domestic season up and running, and especially when you spend some time in England. Wishing you well, my man. And yeah, good stuff. Good luck.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Go well, my man.
Cool.
Thanks, Eddie. Go well.
All
My
right,
man.
Ryan.
Cheers, man.
Keep well. All the best. Chat soon. Bye.